good idea to try and resurrect the successes of the past?
When you're chewing on life's gristle, that grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day. He's a lumberjack.
Ryan, a baby called Ryan. He grew up to be.
Why are we here? What's life all about? Is God really real? Or is there some doubt? Well, tonight we're going to sort it all out. For tonight, it's the meaning of life.
Terry Jones has confirmed all the surviving members of comedy legends Monty Python are to reform for a stage show. He's told the BBC he's quite excited and hoping to pay off his mortgage. At least he's honest about it. The reunion is expected to be announced officially at a press conference on Thursday, but TV critic Toby Earle says he's praying it's not all about the money.
I was kind of hoping in many ways that they were just going to have a press conference and solemnly declare that yes, that parrot is dead, and that'd be the end of it, and that would be there would just be a huge prank, which would of course be terrific. But I mean, if it's them performing old sketches, then that's kind of fun at the same time. A little bit like that sensation you get when you bite into a lemon and your gums recede. You just think, oh, I could rather watch this when they were sort of really at the top of their game. But of course, if they have new material, it'd be fascinating to see what that was. Even if, of course, most of us are probably thinking, it's not going to be as good, is it?
Harsh. TV critic Toby Earle there. So what do you think? Is it ever a good idea to try and resurrect the successes of the past? Let's speak to the UK's #1 Monty Python fan. John Wood from West Sussex joins us this afternoon. Hi, John.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, just fine, thank you. I'm loving the news.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's what did you think of the TV critic Toby Earle's thoughts there?
Well, no, I take his point. To just rehash old stuff doesn't sound like the best plan, but we just don't know what they're going to do. The press conference is tomorrow, and then we'll find out exactly what they're going to announce. I mean, one reason they never reformed before, they always said they would never do it, is because Graham Chapman, who died in '89, wasn't around, and he was a major part of the whole silliness of Python. So I think they may be recreating him in some way with using modern technology.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, how would they rekindle that silliness?
Well, actually, I was involved with his film, his autobiography called A Liar's Autobiography, which was released about a year ago, which was an animation based on his autobiography, which he recorded like a talking book. And the other Pythons acted against him. So he did his own voice, and then his mother's voice, which originally was his voice, was then played by Terry Jones, and his father's voice was played by Michael Palin. And so they were acting as if he was in the next door booth, but he actually died 20-odd years ago. So
amazing.
It's a weird experience, but they did bring him back to life.
We've just heard from Terry Jones there. What did you think of his comment about reforming and hoping to pay off his mortgage? Does that sadden you that it's about the money and not the art?
No, I mean, it's just a joke.
You think it's a joke?
He's just having a laugh. I mean, of course, you have to buy tickets to watch performances, but the thing is, for fans, it's fantastic. Because if they really do need to raise money, then it's a treat for us, because otherwise they wouldn't be performing. So we're getting to see more of them, which is we're really happy about that.
The word is it's going to be a stage show. Is that what you've heard as a super fan?
Well, I've heard what anyone else has heard. We really don't know. We're all just speculating, aren't we?
Yes, I suppose we are. We've got to wait until tomorrow.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Let's start by hearing about your obsession with Monty Python. So,
yeah.
Were you, when it first hit our TV screens, were you taken aback and fell in love with the whole Python thing then, or has it kind of matured over time, this love of Monty Python?
Well, the way it first happened, I was 9 in '69 when it was first on TV. And I was quite disappointed. I was only a kid. I had no idea what the hell I was watching. And there was no circus. I wanted a circus, but there was no elephants, nothing, you see. So I had no idea what it was. My elder brothers, they understood, but I was left completely in mystery. Then a few years later, when I was at school, age 13, a school friend had one of the albums and on vinyl. and we listened to it. I really recommend listening to the album. People don't even know they exist. They are fantastic.
Why are they so much different from seeing them on TV? Do you have to? Does it appeal more to your imagination? You're having to work a bit harder.
Well, there's that. Also, they're much more polished because they weren't done in front of a live audience. So if they fluffed a line or something, they just did it again. And it's got really funny sound effects as well, all created by the wonderful sound engineer Andre Jacquemin, who I never thought I'd be. I'm actually some friends with him now, which is peculiar.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm working actually on transcribing the albums to make them into a book, an official Monty Python book, hopefully available for next Christmas.
Crikey, you are a super fan, aren't you?
I really am. But that's how I got really into it, by listening to the albums. And some of it is the TV show, the same sketches, and other stuff is only available on the albums.
Yes.
Only audio. So
it's not everybody's cup of tea. It's silly. It's surreal. What is it that appeals to you? Is that your sense of humour?
Oh, totally. It's kind of a wavelength. You tune into it or you don't. And people that don't like it, like my ex-wife, they just didn't get it. Just didn't understand what the hell it was. What was just stupid.
Yeah, let's talk about your ex-wife. What happened there then? Because she just didn't appreciate your love of Monty Python.
No, just didn't see eye to eye on it at all. And I was then trying to explain a sketch, like how funny that is, and she was sort of left cold. I tried, but other people, I don't need to explain. They just instantly get. And what it is, it's looking at the ridiculousness of life. Particularly certain formalities, stiffness, traditional things which you don't question. But then you see a sketch which is kind of making a comment about something like that, and then from then on, when you see something formal in real life, you have a little chuckle to yourself because you've seen behind the scenes of it almost. That's how I kind of feel it. It is.
They were so inspirational. They've gone on to inspire and influence so many comedians.
Oh, yes.
Do you think any comedian has ever come up to scratch with the work of Monty Python? In your, well, I know what you're going to say. Of course they haven't. But,
no, but
anybody that comes close in your eyes?
Oh, I would say that the people I feel are close are the people that came straight after, which was originally not the 9 o'clock news, and then the same sort of people that became Blackadder. The Stephen Frys of this world, they are definitely close to, on a par with, but they even say that they're comedy gods and look up to them completely and utterly, and heavily influential on their careers as well. There is something really special about the Six, and it is a bit like the Beatles.
Yes.
4 Beatles, 6 Pythons, but there was something magical about when they came together and the material that they created.
Yeah, I imagine. And we heard the Dead Parrot sketch earlier on. It's a really hard thing to ask a superfan like you, but what would be your favourite Monty Python sketch of all time?
Well, that is impossible to say. I don't really have one, but I've got some favourites.
Come on.
My favourites are the early days, the raw, real stuff, right from the beginning in '69, the first series, the first 13 shows in Series 1. So things like how to defend yourself against a man armed with fresh fruit. Do you know that one?
Yes.
And the lion tamer, Michael Palin, who's a merchant banker, and he wanted to change his career and become a lion tamer. And John Cleese says, "Are you sure you wouldn't like to take it more easy? Maybe become a merchant banker first, or something."
Just so silly, just talking about it. I mean,
yes, accountancy. That's why accountancy is boring, and all that. And the argument sketch.
Yes, yeah.
Silly walks.
Yeah. There's so many, isn't there? And they have lasted the test of time, and that's very clever writing. John, it's been lovely talking to you. I wish we had more time, and brilliant news for people like you and fans of Monty Python. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, John Wood, the UK's #1 Monty Python fan. Just a little